Every process running in an operating system contains at least one thread and can initiate multiple threads, which are then executed in parallel in the same process space. This is similar to executing multiple applications at the same time. In Python, threading can be used to run several function calls or other tasks simultaneously, especially if those tasks involve some waiting. This is the case for networking and web-related tasks. Threading is a large and advanced topic in Python. We will discuss only the basics of threading in this course because we will use it in one of our applications. Python provides two modules for threading. They are called thread, thread and threading. When using any of these modules, you should first import them using the same old import statement. Note that the thread module is considered obsolete and it is recommended that you use the threading module instead. This is available starting with Python version 2.4. Now, referring to the threading module, we will use the thread class from this module, written with a capital T and prepended, of course, by the module name. From this class, the most useful and used methods are, first we have start and join. Start simply starts or initiates the thread, and join makes sure the program waits for all threads to terminate. Okay, let's see an example of threading in Python. Let's create a file in which to write our code. So, touch thread.py. Okay. First, we should enter the file and edit it. So, I for insert. Okay, the first thing we should do is import the threading module. So, import threading. Also, we will need a module we haven't talked about yet. It is called time. So we will import this too, just to show the threading functionality. So import time. From the time module, we will need the sleep function, which basically interrupts the execution of the program for as many seconds as you enter in between its parentheses. So, for example, time.sleep of 1 will hold the execution for a second. Okay, let's delete this. I said that threading can be used to run several function calls at once. So let's first define a function that prints something, then waits for 3 seconds, and then prints another thing. I'll use this simple function just to prove that using threading you can run multiple function calls simultaneously. So let's go ahead and define our function, def my function, open and close parentheses, no need for any arguments. Let's say print start a thread. Then we have time.sleep for 3 seconds, and then print another string and a thread. Okay, now it's time to configure threading. But first, let's set a goal for this application. We would like to run the function 5 times concurrently, and as a bonus, we would like the program to wait for all threads to terminate. To achieve our goal, I'll first create an empty list called threads. So threads equals empty list. Then, because we want 5 instances of the function to be executed, we can make use of a for loop and the range function. So let's say for I in range of 5. Now let's use the thread class from the threading module and tell it the target function to be executed. We will do this using the target argument. So let's say th equals threading dot thread, and in between parentheses let's define target as being our previously defined function, so my function without the parentheses. Okay, now it's time to start the thread and then also append each threading object to the threads list. So, as I said in the beginning of this lecture, you will use the start method to initialize a thread. On the next row, th.start and also threads dot append of th. Finally, using another for loop to iterate over the threads list, we will use the join method in order to instruct the program to wait for all threads to finish. So let's say for th in threads, go ahead and th.join. Okay, now let's save the file and run it to see threading in action. So python thread.py. Okay, this clearly demonstrates that the function is called concurrently because it printed the first string 5 times, then stopped for 3 seconds, and then printed the second string 5 times. If we would have called the function 5 times without using threading, then what would have happened? Well, the first call would have printed the first string, then waited for 3 seconds, and then printed the second string. Then all the subsequent function calls would have done the same thing, so a total of 15 seconds of interruption. Let's see this by modifying the program to not use threading, but instead just call the function 5 times. So let's go into the file, I for insert. Let's go ahead and delete this. Okay, so for I in range of 5, just run my function. Let's save it and run it. This will take a while, but let's see the results. Okay, so there it is, the difference between normal function calling, this, and threaded function calling, this case. I think you now have a pretty good idea about threading.